Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Sandra's Authors Forum. I am ecstatic to be alive, and I pray to God you are as well. We have an amazing guest today, and I am so excited to have him. His name is Dr. Berger. All right. I want to introduce him to you shortly, but I want you to hurry up, and tell a friend to tell a friend that Sandra's Authors Forum is on the air and that we're going to talk about so many very important things that you want to invite somebody to. We're going to talk about health. We're going to talk about wealth. And health and wealth are the two most exciting things to talk about in 2025. So if you would do me a favor and help me welcome Dr. Berger to the show, I would appreciate it. Oh my goodness, Dr. Berger, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic, Dr. Sandra. How are you doing?
I am ecstatic to be alive. You know that. Well, you
Absolutely.
know what? We're going to ask you a few questions. We're going to get right into the show.
Sure.
We're going to ask your guest to come in, say hi, tell us where you're from, and just let us know a little bit about you. Comment in the comment section because we are an interactive show and we love your questions. All right. We're going to start out by asking Dr. Berger his first question. And if you don't mind, will you tell us one thing we don't know about you that will benefit about this show tonight?
Oh, wow. That's one thing that people will benefit from. Let's see. I think the one thing that people will benefit the most from is that I'm a very well-rounded individual, and I'm very passionate about life. And I've been in the arts. I own my own business. I've got an honorary doctorate, and I love to live a life that's an abundance and optimum wellness, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. And I want to. My movement is towards the betterment of humanity. And it's all about providing value to individuals in the world today because so many people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And they're looking for information that will get them to the next level in their life, in their business, or a combination of both. And these types of forums are always the best way because you're getting people that are passionate, people who are really hungry to help people and provide that value for them.
Well, you gave us a mouthful, and so we're going
I
to run.
did. Sorry.
That's awesome. Now we're going to start. So, audience, let's ask the audience a question right here. Are you aware of your health status right now? What does your future wealth look like for you in 2025? And would you like more information that can get you in a better position? Go ahead and answer that question right now in the comment section. All right, Dr. Berger, what would you like to start off with? Talking about finances?
Well, I think the very first thing that I want people to that I encourage people to do is to be open tonight to information that you may have heard or you may not have heard. What I find is that when you step into your uncomfortable zone, that is when growth really starts. And there may be some information that it's like, oh, I don't know, I've heard bad things about it. Well, I've heard bad things about lots of stuff. And that's what I'll be sharing tonight through my journey from a medical perspective, as well as a financial perspective.
All right, Dr.
So keep it
Berger.
open-minded.
All right, very good. We want everyone to be open-minded. Finances. Did you always start out, or were you born into finances?
No, I was not at all. So very quickly, I went to high school, I went to college, I graduated college, and I actually was a performing artist in New York City with a New York City jazz company, dance company. I fractured my back doing a rock video. That got me out of the industry. I ended up moving into a software engineering position for 27 years. Yeah. And I resigned from corporate America in 2015 from total burnout. And that was the start of my health and wellness journey was in 2015. Mm-hmm. And in 2018 is when things really, really started to pop for me from a health perspective. And then in 2022, the finances came in and really broadened the scope to what I'm doing today.
All right. And so your financial mission for the world today is what?
My financial mission for the world today is to educate people about the technologies that are being developed today that are already impacting people today, and that's less than 1% of the world, that are going to be impacting people 3 to 5 to 10 years down the road, because these technologies are going to change the way we do everything in the future, and it's going to be a massive paradigm shift. And I'll share a little bit more about that later when we talk a little bit deeper into the finances, because I had my own personal experience in 2009, which I'll share later.
How can we come financially free in this society where everything seems astronomically unreachable?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And, you know, we grew up in a society where we're taught to go to school, get an education, and go find a financial planner, an accountant, you know, all these, you know, specialists. And unfortunately, for me, my experience is these specialists have been trained a certain way, and they are only trained and not willing to go outside of the box. And you know, what I've learned to do is to become the CEO of my own self, personally and professionally. And it's our responsibility to go out there and educate ourselves about what is out there for us and what do we need? What do we need to get, as I said earlier, get to that next level in our life? Because I found in 27 years of software engineering, I was just like this. Maybe I went up a little bit, and then it was like this, and then went like this. And we don't want to live that way. We want to be able to think for ourselves, act for ourselves. But the majority, I'm going to speak more so on my generation. I'm the baby boomer. I know that the younger kids today are much more proactive in their own lives. But, you know, I was taught to go to school and be a good guy and go find a job and work a job. Well, that's not working anymore. That is shifting over, and people are not wanting a job, because a job keeps you just over broke.
Very interesting. Just over broke. I've never heard that before.
Aha.
So, what led you on your path to becoming self-sufficient?
So as I said, in 2015, I left corporate America from total burnout because I was working 7 days a week. And in corporate America in the United States, primarily, you know, when you're a salaried individual, you're expected to be at work and get the job done no matter what. And as you got higher in the ranks, there was more demands put onto you. So from that burnout, I said, you know what, I need to, and I always wanted to leave some kind of a legacy or have some kind of an impact on the world, because the last 7 years of my professional career as a software engineer, I was thinking, well, what can I do different that will have an impact on the world? And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm working as a software engineer and I'm working for a pharmaceutical company.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, I'm not going to make any impact on the world. So that's when I left. And I searched. I mean, for 2.5 years, I searched and, you know, tested things. And in 2018, my doctor wanted to put me on a 6th medication. And that's when I said, well, wait a minute, why do you want to put me on a 6th medication? She said, you're having problems and complications from the other 5. So I said, well, who's to say I'm not going to have problems from the 6th? So long story short is that I said no. And that's when I really chose to, and that's kind of when I was introduced to the Holistic Chamber of Commerce and this holistic. And I grew up with medical professionals in my family, and they said, oh, holistic, that's that voodoo stuff. But I opted to go and start to explore. So long and short, 9 months, I lost 60 pounds. I reversed my type 2 diabetes. I came off of the 5 medications, and I reduced stress, anxiety, and depression that was at a 10 plus for decades down to a level 1. And that was August of 2019. And today I'm happy to say I'm pharmaceutical free. I'm happy as a bee. And, you know, I deal with stress differently today. Rather than react, I evaluate. I take a step back and I was like, okay, why am I getting stressed? What does this mean? What am I supposed to learn from it? What am I supposed to take away from it? And help other people, because that's when I was actually, you know, coaching.
Mm.
working with people on their own health. And it has been a game changer for me specifically. And why do I say that? Because I have a twin brother, and
Mm.
I went home for
I think he's frozen, and he's telling us that he
and
has a. Mhm. Dr. Berger, I think you're frozen. He said he has a twin brother, you all, and that's something that I did not know. Um, but Dr. Berger has some products that he's going to talk to us about, and I'm going to put some of them on the screen because he said he lost 60 pounds. So I want to know from you, how much have you lost in the last year? Dr. Berger, you're frozen, so I'm going to
I,
give you a minute.
oh wow,
Yeah,
okay.
so we missed that last minute of what you were
Can
saying.
can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay, great. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
So with that, yeah, I lost the 60 pounds, came off of 5 medications, reduced stress, anxiety, and depression that was at a 10 plus for decades down to a level 1. And since August of 2019, I've been pharmaceutical free.
I,
So,
I
and
want to congratulate you. All right. You're talking really quickly, and I know you got to get a lot out, but I
okay,
want to just slow down a bit because we got to
sure.
chew on some of what you're saying. All right. You
You
said
got
you
it.
lost 60 pounds. You said you're
Correct.
pharmaceutical free. Now, these are big things. Like, I
Yes.
don't want to just rush over them.
Sure.
Losing weight is very difficult, especially in this day and age. Being pharmaceutical free is very difficult. Many people fear doing that, coming off the medicine. What does that look like for them? What did you do to
Sure.
get to this state in your life?
So when I started my gut health regimen, that consisted of plant-based holistic protocols. I changed the way I eat. I incorporated physical activity, so working out, and then meditation or some type of relaxation. The physical activity was more about walking, running, and riding a bike.
Mm.
And then the foods were really looking at the foods that I was eating because I learned about what's really in our foods in the stores today, and they're filled with lots of chemicals, and which is just really it's horrible, and that is what's causing a lot of the stress and the anxiety in people. Because during I wrote an ebook on how to eliminate stress without RXs, and the stress and depression and anxiety medications are supposed to do XYZ,
Mhm.
but they actually contribute more to your stress, anxiety, and depression. And I correlated in the ebook about these are what the pharmaceuticals are supposed to do, and here are the side effects. And here are plant-based protocols, and there are no side effects. Now, let me just add the caveat to this. Some people are allergic to certain plants, so they have to be aware of if there is a plant-based in one of the products, then they have to be aware of that, just so you know, so they don't have any reactions to that. But primarily, are the products that I use were science-backed, clinically trialed, plant-based, GMO-free, vegan friendly, so forth and so on. So that's the supplementation, the exercise, the food, and I really went plant-based food with salmon or organic chicken, wild salmon or organic chicken. And then meditation was more about grounding myself. I live in Florida, so I'd go outside and I'd sit on the ground and just kind of meditate, or listen to meditation music or meditation CDs to, zone out, if you will, which
Yes,
was awesome because I never did that.
exactly.
I never did that. I'm
You
like,
know,
oh my,
your health, yeah, your health will cause you to slow down and to reevaluate. It will stop you at a
yes,
point, because your body wants to get aligned with your
right.
creator. And so I'm just so happy that you were able to do that. For those people that are on meditation, that are on medicines, what would you recommend their first steps to be?
Well, the first steps would be to, I mean, obviously you work with your doctor. For me personally, I struggled with my doctor because she wasn't really receptive to, going outside of the box, if you will. And what really surprised me is she was a functional medicine doctor, and usually functional medicine go on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
But she wanted me to get the flu shot and these other vaccinations, and I'm like, I don't want that stuff in my body. So with that, when I was health coaching, I was certified as a holistic wellness coach, and I was certified by a doctor. So I would reach out to him. For me to move forward, I did what I did from a holistic perspective. And then the proof for me that I was succeeding was my blood work. Every time I went in to do my blood work, it got better and better and better. Wow. And it got to the point where I didn't need the medication for diabetes. I didn't need the medication for cholesterol, so forth and so on. And then 3 months later, my doctor kicked me out of her office. And we all know why.
Exactly. No money, right? And so, do you have products that you can show us?
I do indeed.
Ooh,
I'll be the Vanna White of your show today.
I love it, and my favorite color is purple, so I can hardly wait to see the edge.
There you go. Awesome. So what I'm going to do is there are a lot of products that I use from the company. I still use them. I'm not coaching as much. However, I do coach private people who are serious about getting healthy, because many are not serious. So with that, this is the first product pack that really got the gut in good integrity. And it's called the Fundamentals. And there's these 3 products here. And the Fundamentals, it's an award-winning product, and it's patented. So we have the Mentabiotics, and it has what the Mentabiotics does. It's an advanced gut brain access nutrition drink of probiotics, prebiotics, and phytobiotics. Okay. So in this bottom one here, the probiotics, they're the top 3 strains, 2 lactobacillus and 1 bifidobacterium. The second is a prebiotic. It's a mixture of different bifidobacterium and lactobacillus strains. And then the phytobiotics are a proprietary blend that we have, and it's targeted towards the antioxidants and the polyphenols. So that's this product here. And we talk about the microbiome. For people who don't know what the microbiome, it's the gut, brain, heart axis. And the gut talks to the brain through what's called the vagus nerve, which is the largest nerve in the body. And the gut talks to the brain talks to the heart talks to the brain, and vice versa. So it's all communicating. Then we have the Mentafocus. And the Mentafocus it's polynutrients, and it's basically for the brain to optimize cognition, mental sharpness, focus, and clarity. It also has a proprietary blend in here as well, which is a combination of Asian grapes and French grapes and New Zealand pine bark. Yes, we do. There are nutrients in pine bark. And then here we have the Mentasync, and the Mentasync really primes the immune system. And this is really connecting. It opens up that highway. For people who are on the East Coast, we have 95. It goes from all the way up in Maine down to Florida. And I say that this really eliminates that bumper to bumper highway frustration, and it opens up so the gut can talk to the brain, to the heart, vice versa. And that's what really makes that work so well, because it's maitake and also the shiitake mushrooms, and we're getting lots of research on mushrooms. So this is the Fundamentals, and this is really, if you're having gut problems, this is the best product line to get started with, because it cleans out the bad bacteria, and it starts getting your gut lined with the good bacteria. Next, we have the Edge, and it's Mood Plus. And basically what it is, the key ingredients. Oh, wait a minute. No. I take that back. This is the Edge. All right. I'll go to the mood here. This is a plant-based nootropic drink. Okay. In fact, I have it here. I'm drinking it. I'm constantly drinking it because it's filled with amazing, nutrients in it. And this is a product that has 20 scientific studies that shows significant benefits in mood support, such as relief of anxious feelings, and then also sadness and restlessness. So this is something, if I'm very, very active. I'm hyperactive. ADHD. I was never. Am I back?
You're frozen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Am I back?
Yes.
Okay. I wonder what's going on. We're having a storm later on tonight, but it's not. Maybe it came early. So the Edge is made of mango leaf, lychee fruit, and it's palm fruit, and it's sugar free. All right. And it comes in watermelon, which is my favorite. It comes in grape, which is here, your purple. And then it comes in mango flavor as well. And then the last one is Mood Plus. And this is that has over 20 scientific studies. And it really shows a significant benefit in mood support. And I always take this before I do presentations or meetings, or if I find that I'm starting to get a little anxious, I want to just keep it level keyed and, cool. I want to be cool. And, it tapers those anxious feelings along with the sadness and restlessness. So those are the three categories that are near and dear to my heart. And I do want to say most of our products are sugar-free. We do have some that have sugar because people like sugar, and very little sugar, though. It's not 35 grams of sugar in the product because this is all holistic. It's soy-free, it's dairy-free, it's non-GMO, it's gluten-free, no preservatives, no artificial colors, and no artificial flavors or sweeteners. And it's naturally vegan and plant-based, science-backed, clinically trialed. And on the website, there are downloadable PDFs. We have a PIP, which is a product information page, and that's really geared for the customer. But those who want to geek out, we have a TDS, technical data sheet, and that goes into the clinical studies, and it breaks down every single ingredient and what they do with that ingredient.
Wow, we have questions. Now they want to know how much it costs. They want to know what do you take it with? How can they get it? I put your Zoom link on the right here in front, so you can go ahead and tell them that.
Yeah. So the best thing to do, and I offer if somebody's seriously looking at wanting to get their gut integrity back and get healthier. We have all kinds of different products. So we've got gut health, we've got hormone health, we've got different types of sports health as well. There's a plethora of different types of products. And I offer a 30-minute free consultation because I don't like recommending, like for this product line here, I don't want to recommend it for anybody out there because I don't know what your situation is. Mm. And that's just give me a call. I'm happy to do a 30-minute free consultation, ask you questions, and I ask personal questions. What's going on? What have you been doing before? What are you doing now? And where do you want to be in 3 to 6 to 9 months from now from a health perspective? And then I make some recommendations. We go over them. Because on that, I have you do your own research. You go out, you look at the resources that are there. Dr. Sean does a video on every single product. So you can hear it from the master formulator because he is the one who has formulated this. And he's a world-renowned, nutrient doctor. So he knows what he's talking about, and he's very, very successful with that. But he really kind of lays it out in layman's terms for us, and that's the process. And I think that plus it gets me to know the individual, and if they're serious about wanting help, that I'm definitely here for that. But again, as I said earlier, a lot of people they're not serious about their health, because sometimes it took me 9 months. And I'll say, let me share this too, Dr. Sandra, is in the beginning, I almost quit.
Wow.
Because it was so hard. I mean, I was 60 pounds overweight. I wasn't eating properly. But you know what was the catalyst that made me push through? Was seeing my father in his casket.
Oh, wow.
Because all I saw was he died of type 2 diabetes, a leg amputation, heart disease, and 12 medications.
Wow.
And he just kept getting worse and worse and worse through the years. And all I saw was him. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm right around the corner from when he died. And I'm like, I don't want to be there. So I'm already 70 years old, and he passed at 70. So he's been gone 25 years.
You're 70 years old?
I'm 70 years old.
No way in the world.
Yay way in the world.
Now, Doc, tell me about the term holistic. What does that mean?
So for me, holistic is anything outside of the mainstream, and anything that is centralized, because we have centralized systems that are broken and they're corrupt. And holistic is outside of that domain. And the people, the professionals who are in the holistic arena have more leeway with a lot of their recommendations. They're not strict and regimented to insurances, unfortunately, because insurances are tied to pharmaceuticals, and the doctors are tied to pharmaceuticals, and the FDA, and the insurance companies as well. So that's a big racket. And unfortunately, we've grown up in a society where so many have become dependent on these broken and corrupt systems. They don't know where to go, and that's what we're here for. And granted, it does cost money to get healthy. Why? Because there's millions and millions and millions and millions of people that are sick in the illness arena. And then those of us who are in the wellness arena, there's not that many. And unfortunately, there's not that big surplus of people buying the product. So it's a little bit more expensive. However, the way I look at it is, and I know where people are coming from, because that's how I was when I started in 2018. It's like, where am I going to get the money for this? And I'm like, wait a minute, my health is more important. So let me look at what I can cut out and bring in to get healthier.
Wow. So, all right, Victoria says.
So holistic. Let me just add one more thing to that.
Please.
I forgot. It was in my head, but I didn't say it. Holistic to me is, from a health perspective, is God put plants here for a reason. And we need to get back to the old ways of utilizing those plants for the amazing and beautiful holistic, remedies that they provide us. And that's what we have. That's holistic from a health perspective. And I look at holistic financial fitness in a different perspective, but it still aligns with get away from the centralized corrupt systems, get into a decentralized area. But we're talking about health right now. And that's for me, holistic. It's something where, I look at holistic, and it's like, it's like a Zen. It's like a calmness, holistic. It's just so green to me. And it means so much more. And I will say, and let me add this on too, and then I'm going to zip my mouth. You know what? I had the first 2.5 to 3 months was pure HELL. And I struggled. But the more I did it, the more my body responded favorably. And when you start treating your body the right way, you'll be surprised how fast it comes back. And it's just, it's a blessing. So we have this body temple. We only have one chance to treat it right. And we need to treat it right, not the the so-called medical professionals out there.
Wow. I commend you for coming off your medicine. We have a question here. What do you feel about CMOS?
Oh, CMOS is great. It's got, I don't know that much about it. I started trying it about 6 months ago. I need to get back on it, but tons and tons of minerals. I'm seeing great information about it. So, I mean, if I could buy everything that's out there for us, I would, but I can't do that now.
Exactly.
There's so much good stuff out there.
All right. Holistic health is aligned with mental health.
Yes.
So many people are suffering with their mental right now. What advice would you have for them? I know you have the products, and I believe, was it the Edge for mental?
The Mood Plus. Well,
Mood Plus.
all of them, because the fundamentals get your gut cleaned up, because you're getting rid of the bad bacteria, because the bad bacteria is fighting in your gut. So that causes anxiety, causes stress. So it raises up your all the stress levels. And then this with the Edge, which helps with mood. There, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. With the Mood Plus, so they really all benefit in different ways.
All right, so doctor, the gut is the organ in the body that is the most precious organ. And a lot of doctors do not tell us the things that we're suffering with, it stems from the gut.
Absolutely.
And so, audience, if you will listen to us very closely tonight, if you get your gut aligned, your health will follow. Am I correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, right. I call the gut is referred to, Hippocrates called the gut the first brain.
I believe that.
That's what feeds everything in your body.
Everything in your body. And so inside that gut, infections can be there that causes the body various symptoms that the doctor's not going to tell you, because they don't want you to fix the gut. If you fix the gut, then you won't need them. You won't have the stress and the high blood pressure and the depression and such like, correct?
That is correct. And for those that don't know, the gut lining and then the intestines, let me say the intestines are the lining of the intestine is one cell layer thick. And when you eat all these bad foods with the chemicals, it breaks that wall down, and then the stuff from your gut seeps into your bloodstream, and that's where havoc starts. And you need to repair the gut lining. You need to repair the small intestine and the large intestine. And that's where it starts. And sometimes it's depending on the person's health. It could be a short period of time, or it could be a very long period of time, depending on how severe they are. But in the long run, it's worth it, because you get your life back.
So there's a question from, I believe she's from Ohio. She said, is there a natural remedy for gallstones without surgery?
So this is the first time I've ever being asked this question. So I'm going to write this down, but I'll go back to the chats. And that's from Priscilla.
Yes.
Priscilla, I'll get back to you on that. Okay. And definitely work on getting some information for you if I can. Okay.
Awesome. She will be delighted for that. She said, Victoria says, oh, wow, I'm so glad this show speaks to you. I know I'm being fed a bunch of jewels and pearls. Very good question. So, Doc, we're going to leave health, the topic on health, and we're going to go to finances. All right. There's a lot of people that are struggling right now with finances, and you have a few things you would like to discuss about getting us aligned with financial freedom.
Sure.
You had a coach, right?
Well, I have a coach now, but I had a financial planner before.
Gotcha.
Okay, so and this is my personal story. I share it with people, and some of them will think, well, that makes sense. And maybe I should, take some of this advice and explore. And this is the purpose, is providing value, providing nuggets to say, oh, well, this is happening to me and I want something different. So bottom line is that between 9/11 and 2008, I did it like everybody else did. And I'm not like everybody else as far as what happened to me, but there's a lot of people that this happened to. And I followed a financial planner's advice, and between 9/11 and 2008, between 9/11 and 2008, which is the U.S. real estate market crash and the bank crashes, I lost over $900,000 in my portfolio, my retirement portfolio. So that was, talk about stress. Oh my gosh, it was horrible. So with that, I worked, and unfortunately I worked a salary job, so I didn't get overtime, and I couldn't get another job, but I tried to do a side gig, and make some extra money to try to recoup that. But, and then that was when I was in Massachusetts. And then I moved back to Buffalo for a short period of time, had somebody there, and very, very conservative. And I started to talk to him about the new digital currency era that was coming up back in 2000. It started in 2009 with what's called Bitcoin. And he didn't know anything about it, and he was scared to jump into it. Okay, fine. Very mediocre, very conservative. And, he had took one vacation a year. He lived in a modest home in Williamsville, New York, and drove an okay car, but he lived within his means, and that's okay. That's what he wanted to do. But I wanted more options. I'm like, wait, I want more options. I want to be able to travel the world, and I can't do that with what I got. So I started to explore, and I share this story when I do my monthly seminars. Being a software engineer, in 2009, I was approached to purchase 500 Bitcoin at 0.0017 cents. That is an 85-cent investment. And I said, no, it's a scam. And for many of you here, you may already know that Bitcoin is over $100,000 a coin. So if I had purchased that, kept it, I'd probably be on a beach eating bonbons and not here today. But it was a rude awakening. And in 2017, cryptocurrency, digital currency, all these things started to become more prevalent. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I need to step into my uncomfortable zone and start to learn. And that's when my journey in that started, because my finances were not great. I was concerned about retirement. Am I going to be able to retire? I couldn't retire with what I had back in 2018. I had to work another 5 to 10 years. So with that, in 2022, during my coaching, from 2019 until 2022, what was the number one complaint about my, coaching students was finances. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, they didn't have the finances to get well, so they had to quit, and they were in financial trouble. So, I started to do okay, but it wasn't great, which brought me to 2022, and we lost another $75,000 in the market. And that's when panic really hit. So I was just praying to God, please put me in front of something that will get us into a different situation. Long and the short of it is, I was introduced to, a company that has really changed our lives, but also with that, we have diversified not only into this international real estate company, but also into 4 other products. And we've taken a very low 6-figure, it was a 401k, but then it was at 101k, and it was going down to a 0k. So we took that, diversified it, and today, in just a couple of years, it's in the mid 7 figures.
Mm.
And before the end of this year, it will be into the 8 figures. And it's all about educating yourself into, as I said earlier, what are the technologies that are happening today that are going to change the world in 3 to 5 to 10 years.
Mm.
There's no get rich quick scheme unless you win the lottery or, you are born into money, because then you're automatically rich. So this is something that is, educated. So it's about educating yourself. And so that's what I'm doing, is I'm educating people on what kind of product lines are out there that they can start looking at and redirecting some of their money into something different that is going to change their outcome from a financial perspective. And I will add this, with the new administration coming in, that they are very, very, with Trump and Elon Musk, and I don't want to make this political, but the bottom line is that his administration, and with the crypto and the AI czar, the new SEC chairman, they're all embracing blockchain technology. And blockchain technology, it's a system that every business will be on in the next 5 to 10 years. They're already doing it now. And as I tell, when I speak with people, most people, they're looking over here and they're being told, don't buy crypto, don't buy Bitcoin because it's a scam. It's this, it's that, nothing. But
Mm-hmm. Everybody's afraid of Bitcoin and blockchain and all of the other ones. While he's frozen, he has made substantial amounts of money with this, and so
am I
he's going
back?
to continue. You're back now.
Okay. All
Yes.
right. Sorry about that. I don't know if it's me, if it's you. I don't know. I mean, we're not having.
I think
I don't
it's
know.
when you move. When you move, I think.
Oh, really? All
Yeah.
right. I'll freeze. I'll just stay really stiff
No,
here.
no, 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 no.
No, I'm teasing. I'm teasing. Yeah. So I got, into my uncomfortable zone and started to get out there and learn and be educated. And as I was saying, with the new administration, they embrace this technology and they want to become, Trump wants America to be the leader in cryptocurrency. So what does that tell you? Something,
That
it's happening,
that tells me that he has invested a lot,
Oh
and
yeah,
it
yeah.
tells me a lot of things. All right, so you have digital real estate, you have certain properties, and I would like to put it on the screen. That's what I was trying to do, to share it to the screen. So I'm going to remove us, and you can talk.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Towers, and there is a hotel tower and there is an apartment tower. And that apartment was the very first successful real estate to be tokenized on the blockchain. Then we have the one on the top with the circle. That's the Zanzibar Hotel and Resorts. That's phase one of this entire project. It's only 17% of the project. We have packages that people can purchase to invest in that. The one below that is the Mozambique. We own the property, but we're in discussions right now in regards to when we want to break ground for that. And then the next one over is we've got a V1 Circle community. We've got a loyalty program, different clubs within the ecosystem. And then on the right is our Demeta One. And this is our educational system. And we're combining education tech, the metaverse, and AI. And with that, those technologies are being incorporated into our, what I call eclectic ecosystem. And this is the eclectic ecosystem is basically, It's a community. We're a community of people who are investing into real estate. We're investing into the metaverse, which is an educational system that we're getting amazing praises globally from this. We're being written up in different types of high-tech magazines. The company was invited to Silicon Valley in October to showcase this platform. They're going to be in Saudi Arabia I think it's February 25th. And these are the two largest high-tech events where investors and traders and all kinds of high-tech people attend to see what's the newest technology that's going to be changing the world. So, and right now we're in the very beginning stages of this. And what I love about this program, it's geared for the masses. Because when I was introduced to this in 2022, I'm like, I don't have money to invest in the commercial real estate. Well, I had $1,000, I had $5,000, and I had $10,000. But people could purchase $25,000 or $50,000 packages, giving them different percentage of value because you own a percentage of the property. And when the property is developed and it starts renting out, then you start getting residuals from that. Wow. Plus, these different projects add to our what's called VREIT, and I call that the mother stock within the company. And that mother stock is geared off of all of the products and services we have below. And what do I mean by that? Think about Apple computer. All right, Apple has their main stock. And then around it, they've got the iPhone, the iPad, the Mac Pro, all of their products and services that drive up the Apple stock. We're doing the same thing, but in a different arena. They did it back 20, 30 years ago. We're at the point today of where they were 20, 30 years ago. So wow. Where can you be in 5, 10, 15 years? And I will say this, that I got in when one of the VREIT was at 18 cents. It's now $2. Wow. And they're anticipating it to go IPO. We announced our IPO in 24 to 36 months, and they expect it to launch at $10 per share. Wow. Okay. And then the Demeta coin, which is the educational component that we have, started at 6 cents in 2021. In August, it went up to 45 cents, and then now it's 65 cents. Wow. So I actually got it last January at 30 cents, and it's now 65 cents. So it's grown over 1,000%.
It's growing. Yes. Wow.
Yeah. So this is really a great time for those that are interested in, well, you know what? I want to take, $500 or $1,000 or $5,000 that's sitting here and it's really not growing. Let me throw it over to here. And let me, because whether you're on the stock market, whether you're in, the digital currency, there's always risk. However, I'm going to throw this in with the current administration. It's going to be much different this year because we're in a bull run, what's called a bull run. Yes. And that's when everything starts to go up. And if you get in down here, you're going to make some very, very decent, money.
Of course. And so they said, what does IPO stand for?
Great question. So IPO in traditional centralized systems, IPO is initial purchase offer. All right. So that's the traditional. When companies go public, they have an IPO, initial purchase offer. But in the digital world, it's an ICO, initial coin offering. But we're actually benefiting from both arenas. We're getting into the centralized New York Stock Exchange because of this current administration. And then we're also in decentralized. So we're getting the best of both worlds here.
That's amazing. And I think this interview is so important and coming at a great time where people still have a chance to get in at a good price.
Yes.
And if you're interested, remember his link is on in the comment section for you to click on and to schedule a consultation with them. And it is free for 30 minutes, I believe, right?
Right, the 30 minutes for the the health consultation. If people are serious and want to take a look at the product line, I'm happy to do that. And as far as the monthly webinars, I do 5 webinars a month that people can 2 on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 on Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then I think the Wednesday one is at 2 or 3 p.m. in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time. So, and that's where I talked about the digital currency and talk about the company. Who are we? What are we doing? Where have we come from? Because they launched just before COVID.
Wow.
And then COVID hit, and we've surpassed COVID.
Yes.
And we're, things are really, really starting to pop now.
That is amazing. There's a quote that says, when your money makes more than you do, you are officially wealthy. What do you think about that? Dave Ramsey said that.
That's absolutely correct. And right now I'm in a position where I never in a gazillion years thought I'd be here today with, the decisions and the choices that we've made over the last since 2018, because it just keeps getting better and better and better. And I was always a victim type of person. I blamed it on everybody else, just like, well, I'm not going to get political. I blamed on everybody else.
Right.
And I finally took ownership to my own life and took a step back and saying, wait a minute, why am I blaming them? It's my life. I need to take ownership. So, it's better late than never. And my vision is to really, get back to that workplace of the last 5 years. I want to have an impact. I want to be able to change people's lives. And if I can change 50 lives, 100 lives, or 1,000 lives, or lives meaning families, individuals or families, then it's worth it. It definitely is worth it.
Very good. Where can they go to find the financial webinars?
So do you have that image that I sent to you?
I do.
If you can throw that,
I'm going to
up.
All right. I'm going to remove you, and then audience, you will be able to take your phone because it's a QR code, right? So Doc, talk about it first, and then I'll put it up. I think he's frozen. So let me go.
There we go. The one on the top is the QR code to register for the webinar. The QR code on the bottom is the one to register for a private Zoom meeting with me. There you go. You can take me out real quick.
So I hope you've had a chance to go ahead and click that QR code. We would like for you to click the QR code, and you will be able to, you will be able to sign up for his webinar. We will put him back on the screen, and he will explain further about embracing new ways to true wealth in this modern world.
There we go. I'm looking at the comments, amazing comments. I will go back, and I see a lot of Facebook people there. So look for Jeffrey E. Berger, Dr. Jeffrey E. Berger on Facebook. Just look for the guy with the bald head. All right, and you'll find me on Facebook. Please reach out and be friends. I will go back to the recording here and answer questions. Definitely follow up with you all. But, for me, what I've learned over the years is to be, as I mentioned earlier, I can't stress enough. I know, we're all comfortable in our own space, and we don't want to cause any conflicts. We don't want to do this. We don't, all that kind of stuff. But in order to level up, get to the next place that you want to achieve, you have to step out of that comfort zone. And I was in it for decades. I went to work, I came home, I went to bed, I got up, I went to work because I was working 7 days a week. And that's what I did for the last like 20 years of my life, because I was a senior advisor to these companies managing teams of people. So I rarely had time off. I had to cancel vacations. So step into that uncomfortable zone. And when you start embracing new information, what I found is, yeah, it scared me, but it also invigorated me to say, wow, this is what's happening now. And if this is going to change the world, down the road, then I want to be that pioneer. I want to be part of that, because as I said, Bitcoin back in 2009, I was even offered to look at purchasing Microsoft stock when I first started. Because when I first started in computers in 1984, they said, oh, computers won't last. Well, they're running the world now. I started with it when you had a floppy disk to put it into the computer and boot it up. That's
All
how
right.
far.
So we're going to show your QR code because someone's asking for it. It was cut off. And
Okay.
so I'm going to put it on the screen. If you click the QR code, and the link is going to be in the comment section, this is what you will see. Correct, Doc?
That is correct.
Right. So we will go ahead and scroll up, and you will be able to see this. And if you would like to explain, go right ahead.
Yeah, so this basically is a form to fill out, and what I have in there is just a little description about the webinar that you'll be attending. I do that stuff in the yellow is if people are referred to the to the webinar, I need to know if they've been referred by somebody that I can on the team who else is building this, and let them know, hey, so and so signed up, just so you're aware. If you can make it, great. If you're not, then at the end, I say, for anybody who has been referred outside of me, go back to that individual, because I'm helping lead the U.S. launch of this, because we just launched this in the United States. So there's less than 500 people that are involved with this at this particular point, and there's lots of opportunity. So this is the form you fill out, and then at the bottom, there are the dates. And the dates of of what I'm going to be talking about, and then those are some of the pictures. Those are you see the magazines with MSN, Yahoo Finance, Benzinger, but you'll see the Zanzibar, and then that dome thing. That's called a glamp. We call that a glorified camping.
This right here.
Yeah, and some of like this property here. Dr. Sandra, is that when this launched in October of last year, people were able to purchase an apartment or purchase a glamp or purchase a package, which was a fractional owner.
Wow.
Being a fractional owner. So when they start renting these glamps out or the apartments, that's when we start getting dividends from those rentals. And then the people who decided to purchase, because I think the glamps, when they first launched, the glamps were $69,000 and the apartments were $125,000. So people bought them. They're going to rent them out. They'll get the rentals from that, as well as the the dividends from the NFT that's associated with it. So and that's
So is this right here the apartment buildings?
So that is Mozambique, and that is going to be a 3 to 4 story. At the bottom is going to be commercial. Then the rest of it is going to be luxury living, and that's right on the Indian Ocean. That to the right is the Paramount apartment complex. They have 2 towers. One tower is apartments. The other tower is hotel, and we own the one apartment on the 30th floor. That was our test bed to launch on the blockchain technology, and it was successfully done in between 2020 and 21.
And so you can invest in these groundbreaking products. He has much more to even talk about, but this form right here You will see the link in your comment section. You want to click this form, fill it out, and submit it. And he, meaning Dr. Berger, who is the optimal wellness coach, he will be happy to assist you with this for sure.
And Dr. Sanders, just let me add one more thing, if I may, please.
Sure.
When you fill this form out, I get notified, and then I add you to my personal invitation to the webinar on the day that you selected. And then those who attend the webinar, they will get a link to my free ebook. And the free ebook really is it's an introductory. What is blockchain? What is cryptocurrency? What is tokenization of real estate? And it gives you a foundation of an educational perspective of kind of who we are and what we're doing. Now, that's the real estate aspect of it. I'm working on one for the metaverse and the AI aspect of it. We just launched this in December, so I'm going to be working on that this year.
All right. And then I have one more thing to show you, audience, and that is his schedule. And so when you click on that link to schedule, this is what you will see. And you see the dates that are available are the 17th through the 31st. So you want to go ahead and sign up, and he will have a Zoom. He calls it a coffee chat with Jeff. Go right ahead and click that link right there. And it's a 30-minute session. And you can talk one-on-one with him, and he will be able to answer whatever questions you have. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
And I've known to go over 30 minutes. So
yes.
Especially if I'm having lots of fun.
Exactly. So my assistant has put everything in the comment section, and you will have access to that. Go right ahead and sign up. She has everything you need right there. All right. Dr. Berger, we went over, of course. Is there anything else you would like to say before you say a quick prayer about financial stability?
So I want to thank you, Dr. Sandra, for asking me to come onto your show. This has been an enjoyable journey today for the last hour, and I so appreciate your audience. And as I said, I will follow up with them. And I will say one other thing, because we talked about being Christian, and I kind of went through a little bit of my story. And I do have a prayer here, because I have this prayer that I listen every day. There's a new prayer. So I want to read the prayer from today, January 16th, because it does have special meaning.
Yes, he went out again. The comments are
engaging
fabulous.
In this on a daily. There we go. All right. So if everybody will bow their head, please. Okay. Today is January 16th, and we come before you with a heart full of gratitude. Thank you for this new day, for the gift of breath, and for the opportunity to experience your love in fresh ways. Today, each day is a reminder of your faithfulness, and I pause to acknowledge that you are with us, guiding and sustaining us. Lord, today I pray for strength and perseverance, for courage to face whatever comes our way, and for the grace to remain patient in the moments of waiting. Fill us with a heart of compassion for others, so that we may be a source of light, encouragement, and love. Lord, we lift up our loved ones to you. Surround them with your protection and peace. For those who are facing difficulties, we their refuge from those who are seeking direction. Be their guide, and for those who are rejoicing, let their hearts overflow with gratitude for your goodness. Thank you, Father, for the promise that you are always with us, no matter what this day holds. And tomorrow, we walk in the assurance that your presence surrounds us. May this Thursday be a day of purpose, peace, and joy. In your name, in Jesus' name, we pray. Amen.
Amen. That was beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I am just so happy about that prayer that you prayed. I have a scripture on the screen that will help our audience as well. And it's something that you can learn and quote. And it says, it's from Deuteronomy 8 and 18. But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he sware unto thy fathers, as it is this day. And so what you want to pray for not is not for wealth. You want to pray for the Lord to give you the power to get wealth, which is witty ideas and inventions and various information, just like Dr. Berger has brought to us today. He's given us a plethora of vital information that we can share not only with our children, our spouses, our family, but we can share them with everybody that we come in contact with. Especially the part that got me was the gut health. And so I'm going to share that information with all of the people that I know, because I know if we can get our guts healthy, we will be healthy. All right. And so if there's nothing else to do, Dr. Berger, could you say your thanks to the audience, and then we're getting ready to go?
Absolutely. I am overwhelmed by all of these comments that are coming through. So thank you so much for joining us. I look forward to the possibility of meeting some of you and connecting on Facebook so we can build a relationship and see where it takes us. Because you know what? The doors are always open, and there are new opportunities with people, with business, with relationships, with all kinds of stuff. And again, I want to say that this communities like this is what people are really thriving for, and they benefit. And in the beginning, I struggled, to be honest. I struggled with it because I was more of a quiet dude and kept to myself. But the more I got involved, then I started to engage, and here I am. I can't keep my mouth shut. So, but thank you all. I'm truly, truly humbled by this experience, and I will follow up with everybody. And again, Dr. Sandra, I can't thank you enough for sharing the stage with you tonight, and It's been a true blessing.
Oh, it's been an awesome blessing. And they said they loved the prayer, and the prayer made them feel happy. So
Awesome.
if nothing else, Doc, that's what we're all about, making someone feel better, right? And so
Absolutely.
we thank everybody for coming on. You can't see everybody, but there's people on from all across the globe, all right? And we have an audience in Africa, Nigeria,
Nice.
and everywhere. And so we just want to tell everybody, thank you for coming on tonight. We love you and we appreciate you. We want you to come back next Thursday on time, because we have a phenomenal Bible teacher. She's a scholar. I call her a scholar. Her name is Elder Delphine Mathis, and she's going to teach an amazing word. And so we want you to come back prompted on time, 8 o'clock. All right. And so we want to say good night. And they said thank you again, Dr. Berger, for coming on.
I'm seeing all the comments.
For them to meet you. And tonight, if you would like to give a donation, we really would appreciate it, so we can keep our content coming and coming and coming. Because as you know, we pay for the stage here, and so each donation goes towards contributing to better and better content. So I will put that on the screen for you. You can send a Zelle, a Cash App, or a PayPal, and everything you need is on the screen. All right. And so we're going to say good night, so we can let Dr. Berger go. He's in Florida, which is a beautiful place to be. My favorite place is Davenport. We come.
Oh.
We're planning another trip to Davenport this year in 2025. And so we can hardly wait to get there. And maybe, who knows, we may meet you there.
There you go.
All right. So go and purchase, go click on his links that we put in the comment section, so you can schedule a consult with him, and you have a fantastic evening. We want to also say Happy New Year to you, and have a safe one. God Good night, everybody.